Ah, the Pontiac Star Chief, that legendary mechanized chariot of chrome dreams and celestial fins, a vehicle so supremely endowed with post-war optimism and atomic age swagger that merely whispering its name in a cornfield under the full moon could summon the ghost of Elvis Presley doing donuts in a sequin jumpsuit. For the Star Chief was not just a car. No sir, it was a land yacht, a rolling declaration of manifest destiny and diner milkshakes, forged in the sacred molten steel cauldrons of Detroit's motor temples by men with rolled-up sleeves, Brill-cream hair, and dreams of racing UFOs down Route 66 at midnight. Its body longer than a Florida summer and shinier than a senator's promises, with trim so chromatistic it could reflect your future, your past, and a glimpse of Jimmy Hoffa sipping tab in the back seat, and its hood ornament, oh dear reader, that glorious projectile of hope and horsepower, pointed straight toward the stars like a missile dipped in American exceptionalism and gasoline-flavored chewing gum, while under that monstrous steel bonnet lived a V8 engine so throaty, so raucous, so belligerently thirsty for unleaded fuel that it could awaken neighborhood dogs 2 counties over and cause minor tremors in time zones yet to be invented, and the seats, bench seats wider than philosophical debates, upholstered in the soft hides of hypothetical cows who only ate velvet and listened to jazz, able to host an entire church picnic or 6 Elvis impersonators plus a priest and a raccoon named Denny, who once famously refused to leave the glove compartment because he considered the Star Chief a sacred space, a holy relic of tailfin theology and Detroit gospel, and who could blame him, for the dashboard alone looked like NASA designed it after a 3-day bender with Buck Rogers and a bottle of gin, with more knobs, switches, levers, buttons, dials, and decorative flourishes than an overambitious steampunk accordion, each one doing something vague yet important like engaging the hyperdrive, also known as the windshield wipers, or launching the high beams into low Earth orbit. And let's not forget the trunk, dear reader, a cavernous abyss of storage potential so profound that several families were rumored to have taken vacations entirely within it, complete with picnics, lawn chairs, and a Dixieland jazz band. And yet despite its biblical proportions and absurd dimensions, the Star Chief drove like a dream, specifically the kind of dream where you're floating on a marshmallow highway into a saxophone solo while angels pour root beer floats into your gas tank and the Beach Boys harmonize about your wheel alignment, because this car didn't just glide, it sailed, buoyed by suspension so soft it was banned by chiropractors, and steering so loose it doubled as a spiritual test of patience, faith, and cardiovascular integrity, but you didn't care because every turn of that enormous Bakelite wheel was a gesture of theatrical grandeur, like fencing with gravity, and when you parked, no, docked, your Star Chief outside a malt shop, the entire establishment would pause, glasses would clink, poodle skirts would flutter, and someone in the back would whisper, "Is that the Star Chief?" As if it were a visiting dignitary or a sentient relic from the Age of Wonder, and if the answer was yes, the jukebox would change tracks on its own out of respect, playing a deep cut from the Big Bopper's private collection, and the tires, white walls so pristine they looked photoshopped by divine intervention, would hiss slightly as if to say, "You're welcome," while the exhaust purred like a caffeinated lion with good manners, and in that moment, as the evening sun danced across the immaculately waxed paint job, whose colors ranged from solar flare tangerine to intergalactic bronze mist, a shade only visible during leap years, the Star Chief would seem less like a car and more like a rolling shrine to everything we once believed about the future, about drive-in movies, about eternal youth, and freedom, and the kind of America where you could drive west forever and never run out of gas or dreams or places that sold pie and optimism in equal measure. And the radio, that sacred glowing oracle of dashboard prophecy, would crackle with AM stations from 3 states away, playing rockabilly symphonies or brain reports or transmissions from lost satellites that only spoke in Chuck Berry riffs, and if you listened closely you might just hear the faint laughter of James Dean echoing through the carburetor, because the Star Chief wasn't just a car, it was a movement, a monument, a metaphor, a mistake, and a miracle all at once, a time machine built not to go backward but to go further, into a chrome-laden dimension where parking was always free, gas was 29 cents a gallon, and everyone believed that a car could make you immortal, or at least look cool enough to fake it, and even though the world moved on, as worlds do, with its microchips and hybrids and whispering electric whispers, somewhere out there, in a forgotten barn or under a tarp in Nevada, the Star Chief sleeps, dreaming in V8 lullabies and piston poetry, waiting, just waiting, for someone brave, or foolish, enough to turn the key, crank the ignition, and once again let the great steel beast rise, thunderous and triumphant, to reclaim the road and remind us all what it meant to drive like gods on wheels carved by lightning and marketed by destiny.